Well, we are here. Hello. It's good to see you.
Good to see you again, too. As we were talking before we hit record, we were like, what are we going to talk about? I'm sure you were
Yes,
eavesdropping.
so excited for this topic. So excited, but keep going. Yes.
Okay, good, because we were talking about we feel like we're doing the things. We feel like we're doing the things. And we're doing that thing where we're looking around, and especially Rachel's like, okay, am I doing everything? She didn't use this word, but I'll use it required to get my $100 million. Like, I'm doing all the things. I'm aligning. She didn't say, "Where's my $100 million?" But I would if I were her.
Well,
So
her vibration did. We
okay.
heard it. Yes.
Um, and so Rachel and I talk a lot about identifying our truth, right? Knowing, like, when you get that feeling. I use this like patting on my chest, that feeling of like something bubbling up that just is like this internal yes. We feel like we know how to identify that internal yes, and we associate that internal yes with that's our truth. So, are we right in that?
Yes.
So, if this $100 million life,
Yes.
okay,
Yes. We can say yes. Uh, Unequivocally, yes. 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 It is all there. It's real.
so Rachel was saying she feels like trying to go directly to it, trying to see the direct path to her $100 million life thus far has not worked for her. And just finding the vibration and aligning to it is definitely working. Maybe not as fast as she would like, but working to deliver the things that she wants. So the conversation was really just like, is there anything else that you can help us fill in about how to align with $100 million plus the $100 million plus lives that we've envisioned?
Yes. Yes. And I would be happy to because we love talking about this. One thing that fascinates us from our view, which where I can have anything I want, right? Absolutely anything I want. No question. And you on your planet, you're so conditioned by matter and how you think things work and all of this deserving stuff that you very much limit yourselves. And so, where we see you as unlimited beings, and you see yourselves as these sort of things trying to figure all of this out, we want to shout from the rooftops, yes, you can have anything you want. Yes, it is as simple as me. It is. Can you hear that? You having what you want is as simple as how I get what I want. We do it the same way. Okay? We do it the same way. The difference is that I had no conditioning preventing me from doing it, and you are just shedding a few things before it can be that easy, right? But it's still that simple. So you already know what I'm going to say, right? Be a vibrational match to what you are wanting. Now the good news is you've already identified that it is your truth. And so you are on board. You are on board with this wealth being your truth. Most of you is convinced, right? There's a little part of you, mostly your eyes, that are not convinced because your eyes look around and they don't see that level of wealth, right? They look in your bank account, they don't see it. They look at your home, they don't see it. They look at your bills, they don't see it. So you need to convince your eyes that this is just a little piece of your truth, that this is not the end, this is the past, and that the reality of you is what you are wanting. Okay, so convincing yourself that your reality is that final big picture that you have, that you know in your heart is yours, that's the game here. Because it's not instant in the way that physical matter is instantly changed. Not yet, at least. It can be, but for you, not necessarily true at every moment. So you need to convince yourself long enough to see the matter change. And yes, to Rachel was saying earlier before your recording, is it really just about playing, playing make believe, really, like a
Yeah.
child would? Playing make believe in your desired world until it's real? Yes, absolutely. That helps. That helps because it takes away from your real observations and it creates observations, right? That's what make believe is. It's creating your observable world. And that does a great deal of disconnecting you from your lack, right? But of course, none of this works if you're not feeling it, feeling how that life would be. That's really the only thing necessary. But all this other stuff helps support your ability to do that.
So it's interesting that you say that because I had a weekend this past weekend. So as we're recording this, we're the Monday after the 4th of July. And I had a weekend this weekend that was full of so many things that I want. So much of my like incredible abundant dream life showed up for me this weekend in a really relaxed and easy way. And one of the things that showed up, I did recognize I was sitting in a little bit of like, I want, but I don't want. We went to a neighbor's house, and this neighbor lives in a lot of abundance, a little bit more than we are living in. And their house backs up to a golf course, and I could see the golf course, which was beautiful and lovely. And I was like, sort of on board with that level of abundance. But as I looked up the hill, I saw the country club. And I saw that at the country club, they had a Ferris wheel set up. It was this like kind of, I just had a moment of, and there were a few moments during that time where I kind of got the ick. Like I felt like, ooh, do I really want this? This life that I've envisioned is now feeling, I passed judgment on this life. It was feeling a little bit pretentious, a little bit shallow, a little bit like I at some point was like, is there going to be a camera crew from like the Real Housewives of somewhere, right? It felt inauthentic to me. And of course, what I know is I don't have to live my $100 million plus life in the same way as them. But I did feel doubt. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I just felt like out of alignment with what I thought I wanted.
Even if you are in that state of abundance, you are still using your eyes against you,
Yeah,
right? So, of course, that specific life won't feel authentic to you. It's not yours.
yeah.
But you could pull from it what you want, right? You could imagine yourself in that position and how you would do it differently, right? So, again, it doesn't matter what is, it matters how you feel. And this imagination we speak of is really how you can morph what is to work in your favor.
So I would use the words, well, I wrote down the word pretend.
Hmm.
And I feel like morphing what is to work in your favor is about finding perspective, right? Finding a perspective, looking at it through a lens that aligns with my truth.
Yes, and even instead of judgment, right, in a negative way, thinking, oh, I'm so happy these people found
Yeah,
their dream life of living near the country club and on the golf course, right? It's not what you would choose, but they chose it.
yeah,
And as you are grateful for another's life, you are grateful for your own and you keep allowing more.
yeah.
But judgment sort of puts a stop to that.
Yeah, well, that's why I was like, I was in a little bit of a twist because I was like, ooh, so much of this is about what I want. Even the like floor plan of the house that we were visiting is the same floor plan of the house that I live in now. They just like expanded and they did like all of this stuff, and I was like, ooh, I could see that. Like there was so much that was in alignment, and there was just enough that wasn't, that I left feeling actually confused. Like, do I want what I think I want? So,
Oh, but here, the good news is your higher self knows.
yes,
And so if you just keep feeling the way you want to feel, all the details will work out perfectly.
thank you for that reminder. Okay, I'm just going to say back to you what you already said. So, Rachel's question ahead of time was asking, does an human alien have anything else for us to fill in the blanks? Or is it really just like playing that childlike pretend and living kind of in our delusions? And you and Rachel probably know I can get hung up on words, right? Because the delusion is like convincing yourself that something isn't true is. But what I hear you saying is no, 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 it's true. You don't have to feel like it's a delusion. It's just hasn't arrived yet.
Yes. Well, technically has arrived, otherwise you wouldn't be able to feel it. It's not matter yet for you, right? You haven't received it physically, but it is here vibrationally because you can feel it. You can resonate with it. It's real enough to resonate with. How is that?
That feels good and actually really like safe and reassuring.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So just keep resonating until you can open the door of it, right? Sleep
So
in the bed of it.
so one of the ways that I've been doing that is training my brain, right? Like I've heard it said, right, that when you ask a question, your brain always tries to find an answer. So if I say, what the heck's wrong with me? My brain is going to find a list of things that's wrong with me, even if I don't consciously do that. And so I've been asking questions like, isn't it so fun that I've aligned with my $100 million life? Or
Mhm.
what if I already have the winning Mega Millions ticket in my wallet or whatever? Is that technique helpful in
Mhm. Any technique is helpful if it helps you feel wealthy.
yeah.
Does it change your feeling state? Does it enhance it? Does it make it bigger, feel more real, right? That's the question you really need to ask yourself about any technique.
So can we talk about the idea of wanting to be wealthy?
Mhm.
We were talking about you and how if you were physical, the expensive taste
Yes.
things.
Mhm.
Um,
Because if you let's just stop the conversation right here and say, why not? Why not? If all is neutral and there's no moral judgment on anything, why not? Why choose the lesser when you can have exactly what you want that would work for your lifestyle and your health and your fun and your sense of play here on this planet? You're not here for very long.
that is true. Okay, why not? Why not be super wealthy? Ooh, except for when I ask that question, some answers come up. Uh,
Okay?
I think it's maybe for the same reason, like, I judged the country club people, like, it was just a little like, why not be wealthy? I did get some answers like, "Well, you don't wanna be a pretentious douchebag," or I recognize these things aren't true, but they are coming up, like,
And this is
the
the conditioning that we spoke of
yeah,
that separates how easy it is for me versus how easy it is for you. So getting in the center of your head can help because then only your thoughts will show up for you, right? Taking charge of your brain. Rachel's
okay,
arguing with us about the use of the word brain. Maybe mind is better, but yes.
okay. Mind,
So
well,
instead of being passive to your thoughts, right, be more in control of your alignment, your vibration, being in yourself, being embodied, being in your mind. That will help a great deal. That's really what you want anyway. You don't just want to be a miserable rich person.
no.
You want to be an embodied, fully here, aligned, resonant with all of your truth rich person. At
Yes.
that point, the money just is, right? That's really what you want. The money is not the focal point of your life. It just is. It's just there. It's just supporting you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. I think I've asked this a million times, but tell it to me one more time. If trying to go directly to it is not the answer.
Well, let's talk about that, can we?
Okay, sure.
There is no so going directly to the money is being resonant with it. That's what that really is. How does it feel to have the life that you want? Maybe do more journaling about that. Maybe picturing it more, however you can. Magazines, right? Using all the senses available to you to create that life so that you can live in it more easily. That is going directly to it. It is feeling how it would feel to have that. That is the direct way. That is the only way that it happens. The only way that it happens. It doesn't matter what you do. If you don't match it vibrationally, it will not come to you. That's it. That's the only direct way. So we sort of understand the idea of, well, what can I do to be rich? What can I do to get? That is not the direct way. Again,
Yep.
that's why it doesn't work. Because if you're missing the feeling, then it won't happen. It might just create more resistance. Because then you think, oh, I'm trying and it's not working. What's going on? Right? That's not going to work. So that is why going directly to it might not work because it's not direct. Okay.
Yes. No, that makes a lot of sense, recognizing, no, no, no. What I hear you saying is, no, please go directly to it.
Yes,
Right.
but the right way. The
Yes,
only way.
yes. And that is that I think it's just our human brains or minds, however Rachel wants to talk about it, um, have spent a really long time convincing us that like it's in charge
Mhm.
instead of it's just a powerful tool. Um, yeah, yeah. Because I'm thinking about that now. Like anytime I try and think too many steps down the path, it's like a roadblock.
Mhm. Yes, because that's not how it works. You will receive impulses to act. You will receive synchronizations of people and resources and events and all kinds of things that come from the vibrational resonance. That's the first step.
I want to ask a really intelligent question right now, but I feel like I've asked them all already.
Okay, probably have, but that's all right. If you just You can ask a non-intelligent question if you want. There is no such thing, but we get what you mean.
Well, I'm just always thinking about, okay, if I'm watching this conversation, right? If I'm sitting at home watching Carrie and Intimate Alien talk, what's the question that is like that's screaming out, that I'm like wanting to ask. But anybody who's watched us for a long time, I feel like I've asked all the questions. It comes down to that same question that Rachel was asking at the beginning. And I think a lot of our people who are watching are like, I'm doing the things, I'm aligning intentionally every day. I have a ritual that I do that, or I'm catching the voice in my head and I am changing the words that I say, or I am closing my eyes and visualizing and all of those things. And I'm sort of giggling to myself right now as I hear like all the Abrahams I've listened to say, and then I open my eyes and want to know where's my stuff. So, yeah, I mean, I've heard you say anything that helps you get into the vibration works. So do it.
Yes. And if opening your eyes and not seeing it takes you out of the vibration, then don't do that. Don't take stock, right? That is a classic Abraham. Don't take stock too soon. Mhm. It's coming, but if you notice the lack of it, you're putting a pause on it.
Okay.
So live happily every day. Be grateful for your life every day. Feel the way you want to feel every day. Don't make it so much about the end goal because the end goal is never there, right? As you have more and more, you want more and more, which is great. But that just means that there's never a there. If I just have X, I will be happy. That does not work. That does not work. You need to be happy now, live in the way that you feel you will live then, vibrationally, gratitude wise, appreciation. If you had what you think you want right now, how appreciative would you be? So much. So much. So, all of you thinking that you are really living how you would want to live if you had everything you wanted on your wish list, I doubt it because I don't see many humans living that way. Oh, Rachel has some kind of hair here. It is very itchy. Right? If
Okay.
you really think about it, if I had all that I've been asking for right here, right now, I would be beside myself with appreciation and joy and happiness and overwhelming abundance and compassion. I'd want to share it. I would I would want to just melt in relief, right? I would not stop smiling like me, right? That is really how you want to live. That is how you would feel if you got what you wanted.
You're right.
Mhm.
Hmm.
So live that way now. And you've asked for this. What's around you now? You asked for this. Yes. Stop to appreciate.
Yeah, that's what I just keep thinking of. I'm recognize you're really helping me. So I hope that like someone watching is also being helped in the same way because so often, right, I recognize like this just keeps getting better and better and better. And simultaneously, so much of what I have right now was a dream not
Mhm.
very long ago. So much of what I have right now felt impossible not very long ago. In fact, it's crazy for me. Sometimes I have to intentionally look back and be like, oh my gosh, it was only 2 years ago that I couldn't even imagine this life that I'm living now felt like such an immense relief, and now here I am living it, and I'm looking at the next thing that would be such an
Mhm.
immense relief. That's a good reminder.
You can have fun on your way to what you want. It's not so serious, right? Imagine having all of your needs met for generations. You have a lot of room for fun and play, right? And enjoyment. Just remember that.
It reminds me of the questions that are sometimes on like walls of businesses that, like, what would you do if you weren't afraid? Or sometimes I used to ask my clients, if you knew in 10 years you were going to win the lottery, or if you knew that in 10 years you would automatically inherit your $100 million, what would you do today? How would you be living today? Right. And I haven't asked myself those questions in a while. It doesn't have to be 10 years either. It could be a year, it could be 6 months, it could be 3 days. All
What
right.
if it's already happened? That's where we would go. Why put time in between, right? If you really want to know what you would do and how you would feel if you already had what you wanted, imagine that you already have it. That's really what will help you the most.
So that doesn't help me. It's like I find the most resistance when it's imagine that you had it right now. What would you do today? Because I wouldn't do today what needs to get done today. Maybe actually today's a bad example, but tomorrow, right?
Well,
Like,
but here you are saying to us, I can't have both.
say that again.
You're basically saying to us, if I imagined having what I want now, if I was in the vibration of having what I want now, then I would not be able to function in my current life, and so the two are separate. You're saying to us the exact
Oh,
words of why you don't have what you want right now. Your higher self is much smarter than you give it credit for. It would find a way to allow you to function quite well in your current life while still giving you the impulses to receive what you want. That is a place to spend some time, work this out, calibrate,
okay.
because you keep continually putting space between what you are doing now and receiving your dream life.
Yes. Is Rachel doing that too?
Rachel's doing it in a different way. Rachel's just not quite sure. It's more of a people will hate me. People will hate me if I have what I want. That is more of where she is at.
Okay.
So, not hate, but she's a little bit just more afraid of isolation.
Okay. Interesting. I get that. I so get that. We're talking about her 100 back now, but I really get that about Rachel. So, uh, okay. All right. So for me, well, it's a line always, but I think she and I are both walking away, hopefully understanding our individual paths to embodying that it is here now. We're already living it, which we tell each other all the time. Like, it's here. Look around.
Well,
I'm already
that is
doing it.
because you have both allowed so much.
Yeah.
So much. This conversation isn't about you both never allowing anything, right? You have come so, so far. And this is really just a conversation to say how to keep going, how to go deeper, how to allow more at once. That's a fun conversation to have.
That one got a yawn out of me. Any closing words for anybody watching or listening?
Well, usually we do, but today I think it is just re listen to this conversation. Bring it deeper into you. Feel out your version of dream life and let yourself go there.
Yeah.
It's
All right.
exciting. It's exciting to watch you all do this.
Well, thanks. Thanks for
Hmm.
always being our cheerleader.
You're welcome.
All right.
Okay, well, we love you all. We will see you soon. Thank you, Carrie.
Bye.